In the spring of 2012, one of America's oldest retailers tried an experiment no store had ever dared. JCPenney stopped lying about its prices. No fake sales, no coupons, no games. Just the honest number on every tag, every day. Customers had been begging for this for decades. Within a year, the company had lost $985 million. Because it turns out, nobody wants honest prices, including you. This is the story of a billion-dollar act of honesty and the wiring inside your head that punished it. It's also the reason the coupon in your mailbox exists. The reason every mattress in America is permanently 40% off. And the reason the one store that stopped pretending was the one that got destroyed for it. By the end, you'll see the trick on almost every tag you've ever read. And the strangest part of this story isn't the money. It's the very first thing the company did to fix it. We'll get there. November 2011. JCPenney's board lands the most wanted man in retail. Ron Johnson built the Apple Store, the most profitable square footage in American shopping. Before that, he'd made Target cool. When he took the JCPenney job, the stock jumped on the news. Retail's golden boy was coming to save a 110-year-old department store. Johnson audited his new company and found something absurd. JCPenney was running 590 separate sales a year. Doorbusters stacked on markdowns, stacked on coupons. Almost nothing in the building ever sold at full price. The full price existed to be crossed out. The average shopper wasn't buying clothes. She was solving a puzzle. Understand who Johnson was, because it explains the bet. At Apple, he had run stores that never held a sale, not once, and customers camped on sidewalks to get in. He believed sincerely that games insult people, that a retailer who respected its customers would be repaid in loyalty. This wasn't a cost-cutting scheme dressed up as virtue. It was a conviction, held by the one man in America whose track record made it impossible to dismiss. So Johnson asked the question every customer had been asking for decades. Why don't we just tell the truth? In February 2012, he launched fair and square pricing. The fake markups died. The coupons died. Prices dropped to roughly what people had actually been paying after all the games. But now, the tag just said so. One item, one honest number. Shoppers had told survey after survey they hated coupon clipping. The press called it a revolution. Then the customers left. Not slowly. Within weeks, store traffic was falling. Every quarter came in worse than the last. In a single year, revenue collapsed by about 25%. $4.3 billion gone. To be clear about what that means, this was one of the fastest revenue collapses a major American retailer had ever self-inflicted. And here's the detail that should make no sense. The prices weren't higher. On most items, shoppers were being offered the same goods for less than they used to hand over after all the coupon gymnastics. Same sweater, lower number, honest label. They walked away anyway. Inside the company, nobody could explain it in a way that survived the numbers. The shoppers weren't punishing higher prices. There weren't any. They weren't protesting the brand. Surveys still said they liked it. They simply stopped feeling a reason to come. In April 2013, 17 months after he arrived, the board that had celebrated Ron Johnson's hiring fired him. To understand why honesty nearly killed a department store, you need to watch two psychologists rig a carnival wheel. 1974. Amos Tversky and Daniel Kahneman put a wheel of fortune in front of their subjects, secretly rigged to land only on 10 or 65. Spin the wheel. Then answer a question. What percentage of United Nations countries are African? The wheel had nothing to do with the question, and everyone could see that. It didn't matter. People who saw 10 guessed 25%. People who saw 65 guessed 45. Read that again, because it's about your wallet. A visibly random number, a carnival wheel, bent the judgment of people who knew it was random. Your brain cannot weigh a value from nothing. It grabs whatever number is standing nearby and measures from there. Psychologists call it anchoring. Think of numbers as having gravity. Whatever figure lands next to a decision pulls your judgment toward itself, and the pull works even when you know the number is fake. 11 years later, economist Richard Thaler added the piece that explains the sweater. Every purchase, he argued, delivers two separate pleasures. There's the thing you bought, and there's the deal you got. The measurable gap between the anchor on the tag and the price you paid. He called that second pleasure transaction utility. In plain language, you don't just buy the sweater, you buy the win. Now rerun JCPenney with the mechanism in view. A $30 sweater marked $30 is a sweater. The same sweater marked $60, now $30? That's a victory, with a scoreboard printed right on the tag. Ron Johnson thought he was removing a deception. He was removing the scoreboard. He made every price honest, and every purchase joyless. Which brings us back to the strangest part of this story. Remember the first thing JCPenney did after Johnson left? Employees walked the floors, re-ticketing thousands of items, upward. Prices rose, sometimes to numbers no one would ever pay, so that the sale signs could come back and cross them out. The company wasn't restoring its prices. It was restoring the anchor. And the customers came back to a store where everything cost the same as before, but felt like winning again. Once you see the anchor, you can't stop seeing it. Here are 3 places it's working on you, personally. The outlet mall. That jacket says compare at $128, and it feels like a find. But a large share of outlet merchandise is manufactured specifically for outlets. That compare at price never hung on any rack, anywhere. You didn't discover a bargain. The bargain was sewn into the garment at the factory, one line above the real price. Online checkout. The strike-through price was $79.99. Maybe it was, for an afternoon. Retail sites can rotate the was price the way stores rotate stock, because the was price isn't a record, it's a product feature. The strike-through is doing the same job the carnival wheel did, standing nearby, bending your judgment. And the receipt in your hand. That line at the bottom. You saved $12.40. You didn't save anything. You spent money. But the store prints you a scoreboard because it knows exactly which purchase you'll remember, not the total, the win. Member prices work the same way. For most items, the member price is simply the price, wearing a costume. None of this works because you're foolish. It works because the win feels genuinely good. The wiring is real, it's ancient, and it fires whether or not the anchor is. Retail didn't invent that circuitry. Retail just learned to print it money. So here's what JCPenney actually proved, at a cost of $985 million. The fake sale isn't a lie the store tells you. It's a service you demanded. Ron Johnson bet a company on the idea that people want the truth on a price tag. People want the win. This week, you'll meet an anchor, a strike-through, a compare at, a was price. When it happens, try one thing. Not a rule, just an experiment. Cover the crossed-out number with your thumb and look at what's left. The only question that survives is whether that number, alone, is worth it to you. That's the whole trick. And now you can watch it try to work. And once you start covering numbers, be careful at dinner, because the most expensive item on a restaurant menu isn't there to be ordered. It's there to bend you toward everything else. That menu is reading your mind. And it's what we're opening next.